If it's rolling, Butts reviewing, welcome to Butts Video Reviews. I'm actually here today to get into this fun ranking of the main villains from the Flash series itself. Like, before I do get into this, because I actually had a good time putting them all together, like from how I was not interested in the main villains, but more excited how I put them together. And honestly, this was a fun list, so I want to know in the comments below, guys, from you guys, how would you rank all the main villains from the Flash from season 1 all the way up to season 9? I know some of the seasons has two-part of main villains, like season 6 had, season 7 and everything else, like at least up to the finale for The Flash season 9. So we can get into this. So honestly, on a good time, so we can get into how I will rank them all from the worst to the best. So let's do this. On the bottom tier for, bottom 10, like, number 12, um, I chose was Mia Monarch, and my point of view was more like how she was intrigued into this whole season. Like, she was not the big threat for the whole season 6 or so, because the whole thing was more about the McCarthy Industries and Black Hole was involved. Like, as we know, it was kind of cool to see how this whole story was more interested in Black Hole, and I was trying to find out what is going on in that industry. Like, how was Ava trapped in the mill for a long time, all the way up to 6 seasons? So, since what happened in the particle accelerator hit, she was trapped in the mill for a long time, and now she got back. Ava came back, and somehow Woody like making to see the story will play out. It happened in maybe the middle of the season 6, and seemed like how okay, we gotta know what's gonna happen. But the end of season 6, what happened? So we had to wait for the next season 7 to see what's gonna happen in the Liberation episode. It did have some good moments in the season with her, but yeah, overall it was a decent villain. It's just like the copycat of Male Master, so it was a decent villain, not my favorite. So for a number 11 pick was Deathstone. As you know, it's kind of the opposite of Firestorm because he was somehow involved in season 1 in the finale. As you know, Ronnie Raymond was kind of like involving with Martin Stein because they put them together, making it into a Firestorm. So what happened with the singularity? Firestorm went up into tried to stop the whole thing to collapse into another parallel Earth from Earth 2. So he was trapped in there for a long time. So he came back as Deathstone. Caitlin was like his whole like love interest because they were married in the end of season 1. But the whole thing itself was like, what is going on here? Like betrayal. A lot of things are happening. It was a little bit darker too in this episodes too, because it's kind of like interesting to see how this whole episodes happened. So to hit number 10 was Scorpid Blue, as you know, Eddie Thawne. So with this character himself, we were actually did love Eddie Thawne a lot from season 1 because he was a newer recruit to the CCPD and seeing like how he was more involved with Iris's love life. And seeing like how he came back in season 9 as because the negative speed force was looking for a host, and so it chose him to become Corbin Blue. Like, for my thoughts, I glad to see Editon came back again and recruit all the main villains from the other seasons. Mostly the speedsters, not the other villains. Like, in my thoughts, he was a good, decent villain. Not a bigger villain, but kind of like a big bad for the end of the series, but decent villain. Great Editon came back. I like that too. So, overall, awesome. For number 9, I was Red Death, and honestly, she was kind of like the whole Ryan Wido, as you know, played as Batgirl, and the Flash's world itself on Earth went. But since what happened with Crisis, another version of Batgirl came back as like a speedster, and also because she want to go back to her own time to stop the evil Flash. But the whole thing itself was so like, okay, we gotta know her story. It was kind of like, okay, we gotta know what's going on here. She wanted to build the treadmill since Barry can run on it and go to a different timeline. Like Red Death was a decent villain. It was not bad of a villain. She wasn't like not a big bad, kind of like a side main villain, like because she was in a couple of episodes, then it ended with whole story. So yeah. For number eight was Despo. Yes, this was a little bit more higher for me because of the Armageddon episodes. You know, the 5-part episodes. Despo was kind of cool because it's like an alien being from a different planet came to Earth and Armageddon to take down the Flash. But it has this whole season really great. Like we got to know how Armageddon started in the end of the season of that because Despo was a good, decent villain. I'd like to see him like come back again, but they never did. But he's the one that really messed with Team Flash's minds to see like why is this going on. But Despo was so cool. An alien being from a different planet came down to take down the Flash, but it literally did pick up a lot in the 5-part episodes. And for number 7 is Godspeed. And yes, this is a little bit more higher because of August Heart. Was cool to see, like, okay, because he came from the future from 2049. It's like, wow, like, because that's where, like, the timeline where Noah and Bart was from. And because Godspeed went to the previous timeline that we're in now, went to the timeline, went to the normal timeline to see, like, let's take down the Flash and everyone else. So let's start a Godspeed role, and every other Godspeed came out. It's like, oh my goodness. By the end of the season, Augustside came back as Godspeed, and so like interesting take of how much Godspeeds we had in that season. It was like, wow. For number 6, it's actually Cicada. Yes, this is high on the list for me because I actually did like him a lot because he's kind of like more of a main villain for the Flash in the comics and everything else. Like he has the Daco from the satellite hit down on Central City since what happened at the end of season 4 and everything. Like it was cool of seeing Cicada because his motive was trying to take down every hero and villains to get the power into the Daco to save Gracie, his daughter. And that actually was in season 5 because it was a good, decent season. I love the villain. It was such a good motive for Cicada. Like, I know he cared about his daughter. Gracie's in the hospital since what happened. It was really great. Like, that's what I like about Cicada. It's such a good villain. Like, good motive, good, decent story about him. Like, how he came to become Cicada because there's a couple of flashbacks happened. And we got to know what happened. So, it's cool to see him in live action. Now, hit to the top 5s. Number 5 is actually Savitar. And his motive was so insane, dude. Because for one thing, it all started at Flashpoint, the episode 1 of season 3, to see how Barry traveled back in time to save his parents, but because we first Flash killed the mom, and so Savitar came out a couple episodes later, and it was so cool to see him, like, the opposite of the Flash, because, you know, the same actor that played the Flash himself, Barry Allen, that played as the main villain too. It was super cool. It's so interesting to see, like, oh my god, Savitar, the card of speed. Because he was strapped in the Speed Force for a long time in the future, but so he came back out again, like tried to like take down the Flash, and Wally was introduced, become Wally West as another speedster, and it was so cool to see get Flash in action because the Savitar brought him his speed back from the Flashpoint episode. It was so cool to see this season with Savitar. It's so cool. And for number 4, it is Bloodwork, Ramsey Russo. And honestly, I did love him a lot because he came back in the later season, in season 9, and tried to take down the villain, taking down the Flash. But in the season, in season 9, they came back later on, as we know, to take down Team Flash and everyone else. But he was in the other season too, like before Crisis happened. He wanted to bring out the better world itself to save everybody because of Crisis and everything else. Like, I like Bloodwork. He has such a good motive with his story arc because honestly, I love to see like a storyline for him in another TV series or we do a movie with the Flash. Like, Bloodwork was cool. Like, seeing him all like gross out and everything was like, dude, That's cool. So yeah, he was number 4 for me. Number 3 is the Finkel. As you know, Clifford Defoe. Yes, honestly, oh, what a great choice for season for honestly, because in season 4 a lot more things are happening. Newer band of humans, newer villains, and for the thinker, his motive what wants to be with his wife and becoming the main villain, because he caused the Flash to come back and created this bus matter, so he can actually have all the powers to take down the Flash. And even though I did enjoy the thinker a lot, because such a good decent villain for the season, it was like, dude, like honestly, from seeing him, because Ralph came back in this one because he got powers, as his name was Elongated Man. It was so great to see this season as the thing go. Good villain, really interesting villain. I just really enjoy him a lot. For the 1-up, it's actually Zoom. We are Zoom. So that's my voice impression of Zoom. Zoom came from the Earth 2. And somehow, since what happens at the end of season 1, of how Signal literally made another world itself. So soon, Hunter Soderman, that's actually his name, by the way, came to this Earth One to study about Team Flash, and seeing like how his story is involving with his own Earth. He made fun of Jay Garrick because he was like in a different timeline too, and so he took the name as become an ally for the Flash. I love Shim because he's such a great decent villain. Like I honestly loved him a lot. It's such a good motive for him to see like okay, he helps out the Flash a little bit with new powers, new awesome stuffs. For number 1, as you guys guess it, is the first Flash. And honestly, I love his motive. I love the villain because he comes back all the time in every season. But he was more of the main villain from season 1. Because since what happened and has, Harrison Wells build the Star Labs and seeing like how Ibathon took him down and seeing like how, okay, we're now going to build the particle accelerator again at Star Labs, recruiting Caitlin, Cisco Ramon, and everyone else to build this whole Star Labs. Because it's supposed to happen in 2020 in the show because of Harrison Wells. But Ibathon made it happen, so he made Barry Allen to become the Flash so he could go back to his own timeline. Because honestly, at the end of it all, it was so great because he came back in season 2, not in season 3. No, wait, he did came back in season 3 in the first episode because he comes back every season to take down the Flash because he's kind of the major villain for the Flash in the comics. So honestly, thank you for coming in. I hope you guys enjoy this ranking of all the main villains of the Flash. Stay tuned for more videos to come. Thank you all for coming in. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you want to follow me here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below. Right then over here. If you want to be notified by my videos, hit that notification bell icon as well. Right down here. Bye everyone.